message. PM. Oh wait, I gotta get that running. Restart the clock. All right. Then this time, teacher, this was like a normal memory leak crash. Like the D4 the D4 memory leak crash per se. Cause like that was the first time I got that error in a long time. And I did have my graphics settings on high, so I really should have just kept it at medium, to be honest. It's been 0 days since last crash. Yeah. All right. Well, let's yep. Now Battle.net is running. Good old restart, I guess. Oh, I gotta change the title again. So I wonder why, like the youth, especially like the YouTube live stream part of things, like they don't save it. They don't save anything. Like anytime like a broadcast ends, it doesn't save nothing. So it will like start back from like a previous broadcast you did not do, and then you have to like literally go back and change all the settings all over again. At least with Twitch, there's some things that kind of like stays as is, but YouTube, no. Literally, for some strange reason, it doesn't remember anything you did 5 minutes ago. Okay. All right, we're back. Okay, why did it preset the Ultra? Pretty sure that's what happened. What was I doing? Time. Okay, well, I got a whisperer apparently. Doing something. I missed out on the world boss. Then a deck was going on. Game can't handle your new drift. Is it worth keeping? At what point do I like stop picking up stuff? Like stop like actually like hoarding things. But like I'm always wanting to hoard things because I'm like, oh, I can certify that. I can certify that. I can possibly certify that. And because I'm like pretty light on the certification stuff in terms of actually hitting the ones I want, it's like I feel like I have to keep everything. These two things automatically. All right, what we got here? All right, we got a whisper there. At least the game saved my drip though. at least it did that. Hey man, there was at least one. There was like one point in time where it would not save weapons for nothing. Remember that? Like it would not save a bow or crossbow for whatever strange reason. Sometimes like swords and daggers. I don't know when they actually fixed it, but like man, for seasons, it would just be bad. Level 249, August of 46, not required gear. Random above some regions taking like 20, 30 seconds to kill Lara boss. I can't one shot them like I can with a sorcerer. You know I'm doing wrong. Well, when you say like one shot, are you talking about like just casting one random arrows and you're hoping to kill him that way? Or the way that I just did it? I mean, generally it'll take you about like 2 seconds or like that. Kill a lot faster than your random arrows building. So you have the required gear. So you have all the. So you have all the. You said your list of 46 plus. It's kind of hard for me to say without like actually like looking at your pieces. You have the right runes and everything too. Right runes, right key passive. Are you using concealment on every cast as well? Like, are you holding that down? There can be like several different things. But just keep in mind too that I've been putting this together for like some time. Like this is the build that I've been playing for a while this season. So like, you're probably not gonna see it. Like I put it this way, like you probably play more on your sword than you have than you have on your rogue. Hence the 46, like level 46 glyphs or whatever. So like the difference between what you're going to experience, you know, what you see and I see are gonna be a little two different things because I spent purely just my time on rogue. Are you on my friends list? Donna Deck. You're not. So let me ask you one more question too as well. On your sword, do you have any decent sanctifications? Like have you like gotten any like aspects or mythics or anything like that as sanctifications? Because right now your glyph levels are considerably lower than what your sword glyph levels are. So that's why I had to ask. What's my 100 pit time? You said you're struggling at anything higher than 85. With random arrows, at least my current level gear right now, I do like 100s in about 4-ish minutes, 4, sometimes 3.5 minutes, just depending on if it's a good runner or not. And I'm missing like 4 or 5 cents. You say even without since you still should be able to hit on the boss quick. Oh yeah, I agree, but I think he's making comparisons to like his sword and what his sword was doing. So I guess my question is like, if you spent more time on your sword than your rogue, then your sword is just gonna have better gear, better glyphs, better all that stuff. This is such a bad map. And I'm in the circle. Alright, I'll get you in a second, Donna. That's not being more specific. I'm playing Heartseeker Rogue. That's the build I feel like I'm really having a hard time in pits with. Have not tried using the Orphan Maker stuff yet. Okay. Standard Heartseeker should not really be having any problems with 85. Like a standard Heartseeker should be able to push about 107, 108-ish. This is like, you know, like pretty decked out. It's kind of hard to say what your Heartseeker should be doing because I don't know what your gear level is. Because like glyph levels and like all those kind of things, like they do matter. Like one glyph not being like 100 is one thing, or like, you know, being high level is not was one thing. But if all 5 of them were like low level, you will feel that. Same thing with like specific stats. Like if you don't have certain tempers, or like if your Pain Gorgeous is like really low, or like your Shard of Erathiel unique affix is really low, like when you combine all those things over time, you will feel, you know, the lack of. That makes sense. All right, give me a sec, Donovan. All right, request invite. As I said, as much as I love playing my rogue, I just feel a little bad playing it after zooming around on Oridan. How much more time have you spent on your paladin than you have your rogue? That's question number 1. Number 2, obviously paladin is going to be the strongest class because it's overtuned on purpose for sales. That's just how new characters, new classes always are. So like, you can't really compare any class to what paladins are doing right now. Like that's just, it's just never going to be the same thing. Okay. All right. So you're doing the shard version. It's looking like. Okay. Your Fist of Face is a little iffy. What a Crown of Lucian. You didn't want to sanctify this? Yeah. Got that. Aerostorm. Okay. Okay. So let me explain this to you on this one, Donovan. So it's going to take you, like on this setup, is because it's also kind of like, I won't say newish, but like you got everything. Like you got everything you need to have. Understand that Rain of Arrows is a slow moving skill. Okay. and it takes a little while for it to actually do its damage because it's moving pretty slow. Not only that, but you also have to stack 3 stacks and whatnot to be able to make sure that you have your precision kind of happening too as well. So at your gear level, I mean, you'll kill the boss. It shouldn't take you 20, 30 seconds by any means. Like, this should not take you nearly that long. But because you are using the Skyhunter Shard of Arathio variant, your damage is coming from, part of it from coming from having multiple waves, or a chance to be able to have multiple waves happening. So like each wave will hit, and then the second wave after that, if you get the proc for the chance marksman projectiles, that wave will hit like a good 4 or 5 seconds later. So like, with that being said, when you're fighting, I would pre-prep your cast, meaning like as the bosses are like arriving or coming off the ground, like don't wait until you see them and you see a health bar to start doing your rotation. Start doing your rotation as they're coming up from the ground or from behind the wall or something like that. So therefore your rain of arrows can actually start hitting them when they arrive. Okay. So then you switch to a D4 ability test it. So I'm gonna put it this way, Donna Deck. Any of the shard variants, any shard build you see with Skyhunter is literally a variant of something I already did 3 or 4 seasons ago. Because I was literally at that point, I was the only one that ever did a shard variant with Skyhunter with Rain of Arrows. In fact, I got questioned for that a lot many seasons ago. Why I went that route. This is before Victimize was even a thing, or Victimize became like whatever it is now. So any Shard of Arathio variant is going to be something of a version that I did seasons ago that I've kept around for a long period of time. So like I know this variation well, like extremely well. Okay. But what I'm telling you is that while this is a strong hitting setup, it's generally better in fights that take longer because it's going to feel more like a ramp up. That's the reason why on the Maxwell guide right now, I swapped out to the Beastfall boost version because it's considerably easier to play and you have more upfront damage. So you feel that damage a lot quicker than like a setup like this. While this is still like, this is good for pushing. Like this is really good for pushing still, because stuff is just going to take longer to die. So you'll have all those extra waves actually ramping up over time. Something like this will just naturally take a little longer against bosses unless you pre-prep. I'll give you an example. Obviously, I spent the majority of the season on my robe, but multipliers available for a battle that are ridiculous to your point is very overtuned. Yeah, Paladin is definitely overtuned. All right, so watch this. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Let me see if I can find a boss with the. There we go. So here's Urivar. So when I start fighting this boss, watch what I do first. All right, so he's okay. So actually, I messed up there because he actually spawns a lot faster than I thought. A lot faster than I thought. That was actually a lot faster. All right. So, anyways, here we go. So generally speaking, you want to prep beforehand, and you'll save some time. And you can do it with this Skyhunter version. It's just going to take a little longer because you don't have a lot of ramp up time. But also down a deck. Let me show you something real quick too as well while I'm at it. Let's see, rogue game. Okay, weird. There we go. Go to the build variants and look at the push one. And it's literally exactly what you're doing right now. How do you fix it? It's a ton of treasure breach, master farm up, over master, and then gamble the ancestors' pieces until you hit the right mods and take the best. Yeah. Such a legendary with the right aspect. And decent 65 is going to beat out uniques many times. Well, I mean, there are some builds though, like, because keep in mind, they're on Rogue. I can't speak about other classes, but on Rogue, like, there's just there isn't really that many generic aspects that you can roll or take advantage of. So if there is a unique that is strong, or, you know, decent in terms of like just power in general, you typically want to do that and then try to roll a generic aspect on that. Like for instance, like I do a regular glove, but that's also because I got for her like rolled on it. So like I kind of keep it, but typically speaking, like a Fist of Fate will also be really good with the aspect on it too as well. Either route goes. So you're running the same issue, so I wasn't sure about something. I was doing something wrong somehow. Honestly, like other than maybe your Paragon, your glyph levels in Paragon, I can't think of anything else other than like maybe how you're playing the build. But I mean, continue to level up your glyphs and then see what happens from there. But I mean, everything else actually looks fine. Like it looks good. But I will tell you this much though, Thunder Deck. Something like Varshan will probably take you the longest to kill with Rain of Arrows, believe it or not, relative to the other bosses. Because Varshan is like very skinny. And so like some of the actual ticks from Rain will either completely miss Varshan or will only hit him once. There's like nothing, no other whatchamacallit. Okay. Well, in that case, we're gonna go boss farming then, I guess. Let me go get my mats. Do I have all my mats? I think I did grab them all. I only have 8 shards. Okay. 7 of these. But I got 71 Stygian stones down. I have yet to convert any of these at all whatsoever. You know what? That's fine. We'll do Look at this one. Yeah, amulet 8.2 billion gold. Oof. Chronicles up. It said, just wondering what the highest pit level you got on this build. I don't push pit. So the highest I did that I wanted to do was like 100, and that was my fastest time on a 100 has been 3 minutes. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. When pits gets to a point where it starts to become unfun, I don't do them. Generally speaking. Like unless it's something that hasn't been tested at all by anybody, I might like slave away at it for a little bit. Just to kind of see like if my math or my theory craft was correct in terms of what the top end level would be. But once I figured that part out, I stopped. Just because I'm not having any fun with the pit. Nah, but I mean rain of the arrows should cap out around like 117, maybe 118. So not as high as what Heartseeker can do, but it's definitely the second strongest rogue build has for pushing. Machine, what's going on?
Did you truly think all of this would be that easy? You think you won? This is the beginning.
I need some Word of Hakons, man. I really need to get like not having the sanctification on the Word of Hakon is like rough. Because that's so much damage missing. Considering that it's like a additional 50% that would go on that too. So it's like it's hard to not have anything on there that's like worth of any value. Why did I offer Shadow Clone double damage on the bow instead of Heartseeker double projectile? Because the second part of the projectile does not proc Pangorgers. All of your damage is actually comes from marking the targets and the Shadow Clone hitting the marked targets for Pangorger. It doesn't look like it. It looks like you're actually doing the damage with the way that the build is put together. But the reality is that your clone is dealing all the damage, and their clone on the first hit of a Pangorger's mark, once you mark it with either the Seth Wolves or any other attack that isn't Heartseeker, that's where all your damage is coming from. So because the Pangorger's mark doesn't care about the second projectile, then we don't care about it either as much. The only reason why we have it on the one-hander still is so therefore we can regenerate generate energy quickly. That's it. Because that second hit actually does kind of help with that. But that's it. It's not for damage like you would assume it would be. Is it completely random roll aspect when you say the fire? Yes. Random everything. C6, what's going on, man? You got any treasure breaches you want to run or anything? Or I'm sure you're trying to gear up a 4GA amulet. Okay. No, it's not an amulet. That's a Chronolysian. Okay. It's such a pointless 4GA, but all right. I'm trying to farm up some more right now. But yeah. So wait. So how are you farming for the treasure things? Are you just trying to gather like a bunch of like dust, or are you just doing Asmodan shenanigan? I know you said you want to try to put some death traps together. Teasing the brick and 4GAs.
They were nothing. Did you truly think all of this would be that easy? You think you won? This is just the beginning.
For prisms? You're low on prisms? I guess I'm wondering what am I doing wrong to not be low on prisms? Or maybe I might be low on prisms. I just don't know. I just don't. I can get you some runs, both of you. Okay. Oh, so when I asked what Peachy was doing earlier, he's like, "Nah, I'm resting. I'm just chilling." But the moment C6 gets on, I was like, "Yo, I got you, man. We can do some runs." You know what I'm saying? Now that C6 is on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got you. I see how it is, Peachy. Totally see how it is. You just got online? Chill? No, I am not gonna chill. How dare you? How dare you tell me to chill? You're slamming thousands of item pieces at the Pikachu just loves you more. Fair. Well, Heartseeker build is better, Victimize or Close. Well, neither one of them is like a build. It's just a be passive. And then you just maybe take either Teleport Flurry or Shadow Step. Woody Joe likes to do Shadow Step, but that's because he plays hardcore and wants to DR. But it's not necessary. But no, it ends up being the same, honestly. Like it's practically the same output at the end of the day, because once you meet your breakpoint, then the advantages of CQC kind of goes out the window. It's like one of the bigger advantages is the fact that you get, 15% attack speed from both categories. So like, but it's pretty easy, especially nowadays, to be able to reach the 12 frame breakpoint. So once you reach that, then the advantage that close quarters combat gives you kind of goes out the window. But it's just a matter of, do you want to play Heartseeker up close or do you want to play it afar? That's really it. Nerd, what's going on? So if you like playing it up close, go close quarters combat. If you like playing it at a distance, stay with Victimize. Or your pit runs are going to be practically identical because, again, with close quarters combat, while you have a slightly bigger multiplier, you lose Deadeye. He passive. So you lose a 40% multiplier by going close quarters combat in general. Now you can do close quarters combat and also keep Deadeye, keep passive up, but it means you have to dash away or evade, which is 2 or 3 Heartseeker shots that you're missing. So whatever advantages that you would have gained by doing that, you lost because you aren't firing Heartseeker at the time. So all in all, I'm saying all that just to let you know it doesn't matter. It's just a preference. There's sacrifices. You have to sacrifice something each route, basically. which I think is very smart. Like I like that design because it kind of allows a player to kind of pick the play style they want to play without feeling like one is like considerably better than the other. You know, if you can get two Holy Dance certification, do they work together? Or the second one becomes less useful. I know zero about the Pally. Somebody in the chat here might though, but I know nothing about the Paladin at all. Keeping bag. Treasure bag. What kind of amulet are you rocking right now, Mia? I just keep on you C6. You said you have a decent one? Walrus with the sub. Appreciate you. 19 months in a row. What a boss. You need swords over daggers? Oh, that's when you said decent amulet, that's a good amulet. Anything more than two, like getting two passives is actually what I would say decent. You got three useful ones. I was about to lend you one of mine. I was like, I got one that's okay. It's got try passive ability, but you got like GA. You got some GAs on yours. It's okay. It's only got three, you know, three of the top passives on it. It's got that little, you know, percent healing on it. It really hurts. Oh man. Swears over daggers because gotcha. All right. Ready for the next? I still gotta replace this sword, man. Like I've been stuck with this one for a while. It's like so bad now. Oh, you guys are on Saragar. I guess it's okay because it only got Starless Guy's mod. By any chance, have you played Paladin? I have not. I might at some point. Is that a Peppers jersey? This is actually a no. This is a like percussion jersey. So like when I used to play drums for them, we had our own like 00 number jerseys or whatever, and it has percussion on the back. Figure I'd kind of rep them a little bit since they're actually doing something this year. Did you name your rogue leaky faucet? Because I think it's driven. What the Parachute name? What's happening, man? Will using air prediction help as any instead of Lucient? No. No. I'm using air because I want the movement speed. That's it. But crown and I guess in this content, the 60 versus 75% damage is like not noticeable of a difference. So honestly, I'm thinking it's like your glyphs. Your glyphs is definitely part of the equation. But I would go back to using like the main version on Max Roll, man. I think you will have more success with that, to be honest. Also, appreciate the sub. And you'll have more fun playing it. This is considerably more fun. You got a Shaco sync from your Starless today. Cool, cool. I've yet to see a mythic sync on anything that I've done so far. So we should be looking out for what, one-hand swords for you? What else do you need? But that's where Weapon Master. I've always thought it was like 1-1. One sword, one dagger, but I could be wrong. Should know because I had to review the guides. So if you put whiteout dots in the middle of zeros, that sounds like such a that sounds like such a, like a quagmire answer. Low key, what's going on? Oh, we also got some stuff over here. Marks enemies for every 4 seconds and give guaranteed crits and overpower to the 20th. I never really hear anyone talk about that particular mythic in terms of the rogue side of things. I don't even know if that's something that we would want over anything else. Yeah, let me take a look at something for you, C6. Just chilling. Okay, so by the looks of it, no, two swords. I feel like that changes like season to season. So when they said they fixed shadow clone target, were they capping? Nope. They actually did do a good job of shadow clone actually kind of attacking with you ish versus whenever and wherever. So it is a lot better. It's most noticeable on builds that like that have like that you have to target something yourself, like rapid fire for example. It's like the most noticeable with rapid fire for sure. It's also kind of noticeable on like random arrows as well. Like when you do grasp of shadows as a glove and you do random arrows, like the the clone will like fire right next to you, so it looks like its random arrows is actually blending with yours. Doesn't feel that much better on Heartseeker a little bit. Well, that's because I mean Heartseeker has a homing capability. It never really cared about where where it was firing most of the time. So it's gonna be less noticeable on that. But like if you were to like, I'll put it this way: if you were to go on like the training dummy, right, and you stand still and you fire from different angles, you'll notice that the clone kind of shoots where you shoot, like in the direction that you shoot, and it stays a little closer to you than before. A 4 GHS armor. Do you have permanent uptime on your code imbue feature? Do I have a guy on this build? I do. It's on maxtroll.gg. Or better yet, you can just click right on that. Yeah, Shadow Imbue to supplement your non-physical damage. What are you missing to be able to get Shadow Imbue though? But you got Cold Imbue, Shadow Imbue, Flurry, Cow Traps, Smoke Grenade, Clone? Is that right? That's right, because Flurry is mobility now. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Come in, I don't bite. Not like I used to anyway.
Okay. So does Cold Imbue override the shadow from the boots until you run out? Yeah, I'll take. Oh, they do damage together. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Just got another prankster escalation from Asmus. Throw that in the weapon slyer. I think I've only found one. I found one mythic prankster, and that was it. Yeah, I invited some people in chat for it. Does Weapon Master also matter for builds that previously didn't care for it? IUDT. In a sense. But not for DT. So hence why I think we go double swords on that. So like here's okay. Here's the thing I didn't really like, or I don't like about the Asmodan spam thing. I feel like I feel like amongst the things I've already talked about already with it, I also feel like you don't know that you're making progress. Like you're fighting him all the time, but because everybody's damage is kind of like neutralized, like you can have on a fresh character fighting Asmodan and a full out decked out character fighting Asmodan, and it will take just as long to kill. So like for something that you do so often, you can't really feel the progress you're making at the farm spot. That's a world boss issue. I mean, it is, but considering that you can spam Asmodan, but you cannot spam world bosses, it's a different thing. Like it's okay, I think, for a world boss because you fight them like once in the blue moon or whatever. You're fighting Asmodan how many times? Kind of like back to back. You know what I mean? Almost feel like he should be a little different in that aspect. Not like one shotable by any means, but like go Richie, be sure to follow. Yeah, let you one shot bosses. I don't care about the fight. I just want the lead. Well, I guess that actually, I guess it just depends on the person, because there's two sides to it, right? If you can easily just one shot all the bosses, and the bosses are supposed to be, you know, difficult-ish or a little more difficult-ish type content or whatever, then you also don't feel any progression of your character because you've already started one shot them before you min max your your character. So then at that point, now you don't have much to do because they don't present any sort of resistance to you. At the same time, we have kind of the opposite with the Asmodan situation where it just takes a while for him to die, no matter what you're wearing. So you don't feel any progress at all. But yeah, there's like two sides to it. Cause I mean, the thing is that like you gotta, I guess the mechanics, like the boss mechanics, have to matter at some point. Like if they're all one shotable, then what's the point of them having mechanics and doing anything? Why design them in the first place? Or even give them a visual or anything. Just give them like a stick with like 1 HP and let that be the visual representation. You can name it whatever boss you want to name it, right? But then the effect will still be the exact same. So there's got to be some sort of a fight. But at the same time, it'd be nice to feel like I'm making progress. Especially some sort of linear damage reduction, not some weird formula where your damage go down, get worse. It has to be some kind of table where breakpoints. Maybe. I do wish we had some fights that require some level of mechanical proficiency, even when geared. That's what Lilith used to be. Lilith used to be that. Then she got nerfed multiple times, and some bug fixes, which the bug fixes were definitely necessary. Like they were. She was downright cheating sometimes, but I did enjoy the fight for what it was. I wish we had more fights. I wish we had more fights like that. Platform slicing was part was cool. Oh, we just got somebody else in. Who's already. Nah, man, you're good. Oh, Flurry Buddy. Oh, is he like a Flurry apprentice? Is that what that is? Are you starting a cult? A dojo? Per se? I was part of the dojo many seasons ago, back when I was doing back when Karma Points was relevant. Haven't done anything since. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, season 5, I think season 5 or season 6 was like the last time I actually touched Flurry. Pretty sure it was season 5, I think. A demon, the daughter of H's and Carter for her cheating. What else, Socrates? Oh. I ever agree that they would have Asmodee right now feels bad. Yeah, so like it just feels like, I mean, cause think about it, like anything outside of Asmodee on a character that you put together and you have pretty decent gear, you're like one shotting at that point, right? So there's no resistance that way, and then you have Asmodee, which is gonna always have a ton of resistance, in which no matter how much progress you make, you're not gonna see a difference in. So it's like one extreme versus the other, right? And the only thing that kind of like levels out that extreme is just a certain pit level that your character, could struggle with a little bit, but will still be able to finish in time. Like that's really, you know what I mean? So it's like the only way they like get a different feel of, other than those two extremes is literally the pit. And pit right now with the way it is, some people don't really too much like it, so it's kind of like, well, now what, in a sense. But there's Tower, and while I don't have a lot of faith in Tower doing too well on its inaugural release or whatever, I can't imagine it being any worse feeling than Pits at the moment. I'm fine. Build your heart secret rogue after your guide. Thanks for that, by the way. Yeah, man, you're welcome. Are you having fun with it?
Efficient.
Be Dragon said, well, just found something kind of broken. Infinite spam, consecration when using rally to reset cooldown and zeal to reset rally infinite loop. Mythic X2, okay. Oh, that sounds like a foreign language to me because I don't play Paladin, but that sounds like that would be good. I assume. Imagine infinite heals and dots being laid on the ground non-stop. Does the dot stack? Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. I can see why you say that then. That was actually a good amount of mass right there. Yeah, this is the Mythic Prankster key. Number dungeon key. I got four shrouded false deaths. That's kind of quite hilarious. So 4 shrouds and 1 Doombringer. Guess that's four saints. Four saint tries. Can you get a Starless or Grandfather on the chest? I'm sure you can, right? I can never see anyone like talk about it. Always see grandfather on boots. And that's what people tend to slam the most.
See some steel you need.
Throw all these shrouds in the pocket here. Slam later. Ooh, Champion's Demise. I love Champion's Demise. One of my favorite dungeons of all time. You got a grandfather fixing the shroud? Oh, okay. Mythics on me. Oh, that's so messed up. Now I got 4 Doombringers. The opposite of what I would want. I'm not crazy, right? T100 pit is kind of tough on standard hard seeker. I mean, you won't be able to speed run it, no. So yeah, I mean, it would be a little tough. Especially if you're not like fully geared out. Like if you're fully synced and whatever, then you might be able to do that in like 5 or 6 minutes on standard hard seeker. But if you're not like fully fleshed out or almost fully fleshed out, then yeah, it's gonna take you about 10 minutes or whatever. Maybe more, I guess, depending on like how much you have. $285 Paragon is still no Prankster Sag. I found 1. That was it.
Khalib took the last of the warriors out to face the flesh eaters. The rest of us will.
Other than that, it's usually my friends who might have gotten theirs, and I get an invite. But I also like, you know, pay it forward too. Like, you know, if I find it, I do the same for the audience.
I'll keep my forge hot. Return soon.
I go sleep as a token of gratitude. I'm gonna open up a treasure breach for y'all. Sure. You got blood from that? I don't ever pick up a card in Gar at all. Or actually I do, it's probably like just it's probably in my stash. Yep. Anything with Gar. I guess I'll do the rest in a second. So they said fully geared. What are your glyph levels right now? I think so your glyph levels is like 46 plus. Cherry, what's going on? How are you? You got Shaco in your air edition. That's not bad. No, that's not bad. That's a good start for sure. It's definitely better than having like nothing on your air edition. Yeah, but when I mean by fully geared out, I mean like level 100 glyphs all the way around. 100 glyph, you know, maxed out at like, you know, 200x. You know, got every aspect you wanted, every stat you wanted, almost every stat you wanted. And like high rolls on like all the aspects. So when I mean by fully geared, that's kind of what I mean. Like, we're gonna yeah, glyphs is a bigger deal than people think. Especially if it's all 5 of them, and all 5 of them are like below mid level. It matters. Like I know 46 is like where you unlock the legendary feature of it, but like they scale. They continue to scale as you rank them up. So like ranking up 5 of them to near 100 or whatnot, you will feel a difference. I'm just like, I'm like way on the other side of that. God plus AFK. Sword, ring, boots. In regard to glyph leveling on the high end, feels like D3 legendary gem leveling for pushing GRs. I like the similarity of that feel. Okay. Although I do not do it often. Fair. Maxing glyphs release snowballs. Yeah. They also made a random arrow by your bill. How you spamming it? High CDR. So if you're following the guide, then it should be you should have an easy time spamming it. So like if you're not able to spam like 1-to-1 like that, then there's some stats you're missing. Or well, basically some stats you're missing at some point. Either you don't have 150 energy, or you don't have a CDR, GA on the random Veil's cooldown reduction, which is pretty important to have. You also might be missing the ultimate skills restores primary resource. You definitely want to try to get a GA on that. That also helps. So it's like little stuff like that. A game is like a slideshow. Pink from Die Side. Could be. Yeah. So it's one thing to kind of have, you know, the pieces per se, but it's another thing to have the right stats. But in the guide, I do kind of go over that a little bit in terms of, you know, the stats that are important that you should try to rock and stuff. Am I EU? No, I am US. I am America, I guess. Oh no, Peaches. Was it like yeah, I guess you could say Asia. He's like the right before Asians. That's probably the best. I don't know how else to like put it. He's from Singapore. I'm just messing. Singapore, right?
See some steel you need?
Is there a big difference between Essence of Sin rank 4 and 5? From what I hear, there is. There's a notable difference. I don't even know if I have mine at 5. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't even know. No, I'm at 4. I didn't do the quick method. You can choose the chance of keys based on which altar you summon from. Oh, really? You have 230 keys. Jeez. Then again, I've been kind of slacking. Like, I don't really too much care for like the meta loop right now. I should care a little more for what I'm trying to get, but I don't know. I guess I'll find fighting Asmo that much fun. I like his mechanics. I like him as a world boss and his mechanics, but I would much prefer that he was just the world boss and not the like the end game farm, I guess. that this season's gotten boring kind of faster than I was expecting. I think it can kind of go either way. If you're not getting any simplifications or any good simplifications, this season is going to feel a little blah to you, especially if you're not playing Paladin. But if you're, you know, if you hit one or two really good simplifications, like you have that adrenaline to want to keep going. So your enjoyment factor will almost be based on how lucky you've gotten with your sinks overall. And or if you like the Paladin. That's another thing. Comes down to enjoying the min-maxing of gear. In a sense, yeah. Like for me, my drive is to sort of try to prove something. Because like I know no one else is gonna do it. So it's kind of like, okay. Well, since I already have it mostly built out, just missing, you know, half the sinks, I might as well go ahead and full send it, I guess, and see what comes of it. So that's kind of been my motivation in a sense. And Fist of Fate crit masterwork. For what build? If you're doing rain, you want to do attack speed. Just when the min-max is complete RNG. That's also quite fair. Thanks, Peacha, for the sponsored runs. Oh, Zeal? Oh yeah, I have no idea. For me, it's picking the build and trying to get best of stuff for every slot, and then find a different build. It's so hard to do that this season because like best in slot means having the proper sinks this season too. So like imagine trying to get proper sinks for like 4 or 5 different builds. Like I won't say it's impossible, but it's like highly unlikely that, you know, you're gonna get all the sinks you want on all the builds, right? Well, I've been playing the same build most of the year. Same here. I did dive a little bit into, I won't say dive into. I did do a little of Heartseeker because I leveled with Heartseeker and I started the beginning of the in-game process with Heartseeker. But then I decided that I do Heartseeker a lot every season and I wanted to do Rain of Arrows. Something I don't do a lot of. I mean, I do it, but not a lot. So I'm like, all right, this season I'm going to focus on Rain of Arrows more. And that's kind of what that's been.
I forge more than horseshoes and nails.
Yeah, used for the color nameless? No. Nope. Even past seasons, min-maxing more than one build would require a fair. I think the fun is when you get a godly sink and trying to make it fit. Wait, what'd you do? What'd you do, Feature? I think it texts me as well because one legend node on Pally is giving me like 80 crit chance. Jeez. I wish there's road builds similar to UE multi-shot in D4. I mean, Barrage is kind of like that, but like, I mean, kind of is, but also kind of not. I love some UE multi-shot, by the way. Like my favorite setup and build in Diablo 3. Yeah, we don't have anything like that. But like a properly built barrage kind of feels like that a little bit. All right, thanks, feature. But the problem is that like it's just barrage is so weak right now that it's hard to make it fun. Well, okay, but wait, it's actually not hard to make it fun. It's actually fun to play. It's just it's so far behind that I have a hard time recommending it to anyone. Like even if they don't really care about pushing or anything like that, I still have a hard time recommending it to anyone because in order for it to feel good and even in just regular content, you have to like min-max the hell out of it for it to feel good. So like 90-something% of your playtime is gonna feel very mediocre for you for regular content, and that's just not fun. You know what I mean? So at that point, I'm just like, yeah, it's probably just not worth.
I'm with you, friend.
No. That freaking thing totally messed up my flow. Those Starless GA course that. We're boss in 3 minutes. Cool, cool. Also, Dona, are you still there by chance? Dona deck? If I'm saying that right. I spawned below. Dang it. This is not too bad. It's a world boss in 1 minute and 40. It's his lineup exactly with Legion. Guess that's not, that's not, that's not uncommon. 'Cause 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 that's not, that's not, My Paragon board and Glyphs mapped for Hearts. You can still feel bad looking at you. No pain. No pain gorgers. Dude, pain gorgers is like the second most important item. I will almost say it's the first, the most important item, but I will give it the shard only because it makes you spend energy. The damage is good, don't get me wrong, but like the spending energy portion is like the most important part of that shard. But yeah, Pain Gorges is like a very close second. Yeah, even like the shitty Pain Gorges is still so much damage. Where is the? Yeah, you are. Would a 120 with 4 basic be better than a 125 with 3? Yeah. No, well, actually, no. I would. I would. I mean, I'd put more emphasis on the unique effect. Or the unique affix. Just that's literally where almost all your damage is coming from. Majority of where your damage is coming from. But like you're not gonna notice the actual difference though. And what do you know? It's like evident. For sure, the correct play is thinking them and using the best one of the two. But yeah, of course. Yeah. I wasn't looking at it that way, but you're right. The chase of season is rolling godly mods on perfectly roll items and failing over and over, pretty much. I didn't mean to actually click that chest because like all the stuff was on the chest. Dang. Okay. This song though. New game loop big chunk is good now. I, I'm like I said, I'm not really a fan of the traditional loop. I generally don't do it. You don't necessarily have to, but like if all you have left to do is like slam stuff, then you kind of have to. You kind of need to do the loop if you want to efficiently be able to do it. But there's only so much I can take of it though, where I'm just like want to just rip my face off.
Better than my hammer sings on your return.
Got one treasure breach left.
May your road be filled with wonders.
What's still got some? Use it well.
Okay. Like I tend to chase whispers more so than anything else. That was a bad thing. I should have prepped. We got a 2GA glove. Oh, we'll stay on that for a bit. I need some beast fall boost anyway. Sacred Cast of Fire was getting a 32 roll attribute aspect on your Pain Gorgers, and I felt that those moments are really, yeah. That's definitely a good aspect to get. Is that Heart with Arrow Storm, or is that Arrow Storm? No, this is Rain of Arrows. So Rain of Arrows is like the ultimate skill. No good sinks in the mythics. Oh. Wait, did he just... He like jumped out of that. Like he was gonna have to survive. Which is better overall, do I think? Out of what option? Heartseeker or Rain. Both are really good builds. Heartseeker will, if you are into like pit pushing, like seriously pit pushing, Heartseeker is like gonna push higher. However, that version of Heartseeker is way different than the standard Heartseeker that you would use to do everything else except for pit push. And it's often considered like really clunky and not nearly as much fun to play as a regular standard Heartseeker. But if you're not really into pit pushing, like that, standard Heartseeker is a lot of fun to play. Rain of Rails is also a pretty decent pit pusher, not as good as Heartseeker. But I do find Rain of Rails to be a lot of fun to play, pretty speedy, and also very visually appealing. But you can't go wrong with either one though. Like they're both really good builds. It's a matter of preference, really.
My hammer sings on your return.
Yeah. I would just think about it in the sense of which one do you think you're gonna have more fun playing. Great overall, really fun rogue build. Either or. I would say Heartseeker is more simpler. It's easier to play. Like standard Heartseeker is easier to play. I think you'll probably find that a little more enjoyable initially. Oh, I forgot to hold down my whatchamacallit. Alright, do I know anyone wants to try Shadows up this season? No. Anybody that would have tried it is playing Paladin right now. Has been playing Paladin all season, aka Ava and Mippy and Lexiu. Actually, I don't know what Lexiu's doing. I'm assuming he's doing Paladin. I still need to figure my rune situation too. Because there's Shroud. I guess I wouldn't craft another Starless because what I already have right now is fine. But in terms of like, what would I craft for? Perdition. So Monty is what I don't have. Just in my stash. I'm gonna do track there. That there. So I know that if I'm picking up stuff, I'm actually picking them up. Let's grab that boot. That boot. Boot.
Better than starting from nothing.
I saw some cool stun grenade builds on that Chinese website that I want to try out. Stun grenade build?
It is done.
What's procking the stun grenades? Okay. You got Edge Masters. Okay. Now you need animation voice. Yo, let me ask you something. I don't know if you know the answer to this, Peacha. So, if you spend all of your resources with Cax, right, on whatever attack that is, will that attack also get the Edge Masters bonus from full? Or is Edge Masters calculated after Cax took the resource?
It's locked.
I think that's the only reason why I never really bothered with that aspect, is because like the Edge Master is calculated after the resource burn from Cax. Okay, well then that's not bad then. For some reason I was thinking it was the other way around.
It's locked.
I guess I have no more fear. Do I have fear? Do I have fear in my No? Guess we'll see.
I'll keep my forge hot. Return soon.
Oh no, I do have fear. I guess I was sitting in my whatchamacallit. I'm like, I know I'm not that low. I expect to announce you're tired of Death Trap, really?
They were nothing. Did you truly think all of this would be that easy? You think you've won? This is just the beginning.
I just thought I'd never hear anyone actually like utter those words. I still remember when like everyone was like going crazy over Death Trap when it first became the build that it is now. It's kind of funny because it's like you start to really see who the Death Trap purists actually are. Now that it's not like the forefront build for like the pushing aspect, right? It's still like the best in-game farming, like the most efficient in-game farming build, but because it's not like, you know, a great pusher at the moment, it's like okay. Just to see how many people are like not playing it anymore. Then you do have some people who do it no matter what. Like maybe plays it no matter what. Doc Holiday plays it practically no matter what. You have a few who just love the play style, and it's like that's what I like to see. Must be pretty bad, yeah.
What's left you
Alright,
ask?
we're gonna put all the be honest, die. Is it worth getting back to D4 after a year? After a year, oh yeah, for sure. The game has changed a lot since then. Now, if you would have asked me this, like, you know, between season 6, 7, 8, and 9, and you've been playing kind of regularly, I would say no. I would have said no. But season 10 and season 11 were actually like, season 10 was a pretty good season. Season 11's a big game changer in terms of like just the base game itself. But yeah, if it's been like over a year for you, yeah, the game is gonna feel pretty fresh and different. Yeah, maybe there's just a D3 dev team was brought in. You could say that. I still, in my opinion, I still think that like, I wish they wouldn't put so much emphasis on what worked in D3 to try to find some way to port it into D4 and just come up with new-ish creative ideas. But I mean, the D3 ideas aren't bad. Like they're taking the good parts of what actually worked in D3, but considering I guess maybe I'm a little biased, but because I played so much of D3, it's like I don't want to see that much of it in D4. Some of it, yeah, but then there are other parts where I'm just like, I wish it would have just stayed in D3. Like for instance, Rapid Fire, that whole freaking Scoundrel's Kiss ring is legit straight pull from Diablo 3's Rapid Fire bombardment skill, and for me that ruined Rapid Fire. So not everything needs to be ported over. Can I show us, please, fetch your build? You mean like play it, or like just like show you the build? I have a build guide on it if you want to take a look at it. We're going pure stun grenades at A. All right. What I have. But see, here's the thing. I don't like going over what I have because then people are going to look at it and be like, oh, well, I'm going to try to do what he has. And there are just some things on some slots that are just unfortunate. So it's just best to kind of like follow the planner or look at a guide, because then you have a better idea of how things are supposed to be versus like what I'm kind of having to deal with. If that makes sense. Especially with the sanctifications the way that they are right now. What's the best road build? Just, I mean, depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to just pit push, I mean, the push version of Heartseeker, the Orphan Maker version. But that's not something you would want to play like for regular content at all whatsoever. You just do standard Heartseeker, which is a lot of fun to do. But there are a lot of road builds that do really well for just regular content in general. I mean, Flurry's good. Rain of Arrows is like really good. Depth Trap is like the king for the most efficient in-game speed stuff. You have a lot of options on road for that. But the problem is like if I just say the best build is push version of Heartseeker, you try to build that and play like regular content with it, you're gonna hate your life. And then it's probably gonna be played wrong because it's not designed for regular content. And then you're gonna be like, no, Doxa, you lied to me. This is not the best build. Like, but you asked for the strongest, one that hits the hardest, right? And that would be true. It's just not designed for regular content. I'm usually pretty careful with what I'm saying. How far can you push with it in the pit? I mean, with this, like 117, 118. But I mean, how far you go with it, it just depends on your tenacity. Like, are you gonna do all the things necessary? You gonna fish? Are you gonna spend hours upon hours on the weekend getting the right map? I guess it's not as much fishing as it once was because the bosses aren't as terrible as they once was. But the maps are still bad and the mob types are still bad. So I guess a matter of are you really gonna do all that to reach that level? I feel like people want to know how high you can push, but not actually attempt to try to push that high. I don't blame them. It's not a lot of fun, but like, it's like asking, hey, how fast can this car go? And it's like, oh, this car can go 260 miles per hour. But let's be realistic. You're not gonna go 260 miles per hour at all. You just want to know how fast it can go. But how relevant is that to you? As a daily driver, buying a car for a daily driver, how relevant is how fast can the car go to you? Right? Maybe you are like, one of those like, street racers or whatever, right? Maybe. Could be, right? But then at that point, you're gonna be spending a lot of time and money and stuff like that into it, and that's a whole different topic or whatever. But context matters more, right? How good a car performs isn't necessarily how fast it goes. And that's the same way that I look at pit performance, or high-end pit performance. I'll put it that way. Yeah, Blackouta. I agree. Even if you would be the worst role player season, you would still be a top 5 role player season. This season, so that's a big plus. That's actually a kind of a good point, really. Well, Blackout, like Rob is, see, the thing is that, like, Rob used to like push and blast. Like he doesn't do a lot of pushing now. Like I think he did this season a little bit with the Paladin, but like most of the time he doesn't really do a lot of like pushing. But like he can if he wanted to. Like he was a top pusher in Diablo 3, like easily. It's a matter of wanting to or not. And I kind of feel that way about several players that kind of play the game now. It's not that they can't do it. It's just a matter of do they want to. Some people are just simply burnt out on the activity of doing so. Some are just waiting for tower and don't really care about pay anymore this season. Some are just, a chunk of it is everybody's playing Paladin. So the other leaderboards for other classes are looking really like anemic at the moment. Like right now, probably take a look at the leaderboards now. I'm gonna go to Rogue. So at my gear level with missing a bunch of Saints, I can hit top 10. Probably rank 9 or rank 8. If I like spent the rest of the night just fishing and going for it. Well, no, let me rephrase that. No, because I'm missing too many aspects. 11th or 12th right now. If I wanted to go for it right now, like right now. If I got like with the correct Saint on Beastfall boots and the correct Saint on World of Khan, I'll be like top 6. Doing the exact same thing, like nothing skill related or different like that. I would jump 6 ranks. I wrote Shaco on some awful Beastfall because how much worse is Perdition over Lucian for the movement, you won't notice a difference. You won't notice a difference. I mean, it's 60% versus 75% if you have a max Lucian. So if you notice, I'm using Tradition right now because I generally do want the movement speed. But I'm also not doing any pushing or anything like difficult in terms of content concern. So I'm not gonna notice a difference. 14 out of 15. Okay, so you're looking at 60% versus 70%. So yeah, you're not gonna notice a difference. So, but what you will notice is movement speed. So unless you're trying to do a higher pit, you know, roll with your air perdition. Unless you got like a, you know, awesome sanct on your crown, it's really up to you. Go ahead. Yeah. If Nika said, "I can't believe these last of us doc said." Then the parkour grinding games, that is not fun anymore. I think for me, it's just the fact that I have to realize that it is an action RPG and like RNG is just a major factor in games like this, right? And it's supposed to be. It's a loot hunter, and in order for loot to be remotely fun and something for you to chase, RNG has to be a thing. You know, random. It literally the entire game is literally a random number generator in multiple aspects. Whether that's the systems, whether that's your numbers you see, the damage, all of it. You know, it's all random number generators at the end of the day, right? So when you look at it in terms of a competitive thing, right, then you have to factor a lot of that in because literally the game is founded, you know, the foundation of the game is literally random number generator. So I have to remember that as a player when I think about these things and whether or not I want to be, I guess, competitive or whatnot. But I do like the idea of like playing something that you enjoy and then, you know, seeing how far you personally can go. Like I wish I like, I'm gonna say I wish it was anyway, but like I like the way that Pisha does things. You know, he's a flurry enjoyer and he's gonna push flurry or go with flurry as high as he can. He doesn't care about what is the best or top build. He plays what he likes. He masters that and goes as high as he wants to go. And he's having fun doing it. He enjoys the game doing it that way. And like that's, I feel like I can kind of be like that with Rain in a sense, but I also like Heartseeker too. But yeah, I feel like that kind of enjoyment I can get behind. Your next saint might be a grandfather. Starless Shake. Raven says, bro, big news today. Yo, what happened? You having a lot of fun with rain this season? Yeah. Rain is fun. I'm glad over time I was able to put together something that was not as convoluted as the older Rain of Rail setups have been.
Crocodile raided my stream with 6
Bro,
viewers.
with the
Dark
raid.
side. We just got raided,
I don't know
son.
if I can.
You know how we do.
Yeah, I can.
Drop
There
my
again.
new beat for these
I can
new
do the
viewers.
dance. At least part of it. Part of it.
Got Sheezy out.
Appreciate it, Krog. How's it going, man? How's it going, man? So congrats, Raven. By the way, she started crawling tonight. It's GG now. I'll be training her to lower me to 300. Teaching her young, teaching her right. I see. What the? Was it 5, 6 gifted subs? 6 gifted? 5 gifted subs. Appreciate you. There was one follower in there. Thank you for that. Was it the dance? Did the dance do it for you? Ready for September? I keep forgetting that it's like December already. Like we're at the end of the year. Bro, why can't I get an amulet? Bro, the whole point of me doing freaking Gregory is for the Ami. Ugh. We're just waiting for the return of deactivated. Teach him like I did. My son bought me the expansion for Ultimate Parenting 101. What up, Eagle? He's an updated review after all the changes that we made. Pretty sure the game feels like a completely different game from when I used to play. Like years. Still no Amy. Yo, bro. Gregor, you're gonna start giving up that bling around your neck, man. Come on, man. Here's the masterwork and plea out there, so I got this much on gear. I mean, the fact that you got Starless on it, dude. Like I have no judgment at all. Far better than what I got. Congrats, though. You need a specific rotation for this build? No. Nope. You just need to hold down 3 buttons. Or 2 if you don't want to do the concealment. But I would highly recommend the concealment. So you can hold down concealment, barrage, rain, and then you can set up your hotkeys to make that feel comfortable to you in some way. For me, it's like right mouse button, then right click for the concealment and rain. And then I use shift on my keyboard for barrage. And so I just hold on just those 3 buttons. And then I get this. That's it. Now, when things get tough, I'll throw in a cow trap and smoke grenade. But that's it, really. It's rather simple when you think about it. What does take time to get used to is casting the rain and then dashing. Like that. So you can get like some movement going. Kind of like how Death Trap does it in a sense. So like that, like doing this takes time getting used to. But just standing here and fire, pretty easy. You can say it's just lots of Heart Seeker. Hold on to that. Gregor's standing on biz and everybody snapping his snatching his chain. Yeah, bro, he's been real stingy with the bling, man. This is the only one I got in like 2 salvages, man. And I'm out of steel. Already? Yeah, I'm out of steel. 1 freaking Word of Hakan for all that steel I had. And not like a usable one, just like 1 just dropped. Just only 1. The game is not going anywhere. It's one of Blizzard's best cash. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's kind of funny, though, because like what really brings Blizzard money, like what they make the most revenue for at the moment still, by far, is Candy Crush. Candy Crush is why the other Blizzard games have enough money to be able to do what they need to do. If Candy Crush like was sold off for any particular reason, like all the other Blizzard games would be, I won't say in trouble, but like they would have to really like reel in their finances and like reallocate a lot of funds. That game in Call of Duty. Oh yeah, well, Call of Duty for the name for sure. But believe it or not, Candy Crush still makes more money than Call of Duty. Although Call of Duty's also very, very profitable too as well. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, if anything was happening to Candy Crush though. Out of steel. Okay. Alright, what we're gonna do. There are no other whispers. Reasonable ones. Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna have to be some Blau. Actually, no. Nah. Actually, you know what? For the stream, let's go ahead and sanctify all these boots. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll do boots. Shroud. All these shrouds we got. Then crown there. A crown here. Think of what else is there. Not to boss wall just cause. What else we got? Do I want to touch the Protocons. I guess I don't feel like getting mass disappointed. Like I don't mind getting disappointed somewhat. So I gotta stretch out my disappointments over several streams. So we're gonna go through about half of our disappointment right now. One that doesn't require specific master working on it too as well. So I don't have to spend any of my good mats.
What colour and brilliance.
Not using my good china on this on these gear pieces. If you know, you know. All right. Indeed, but no websites or icy veins for our game because of our previous review. There was controversy when Maxwell pulled out of covering Diablo Immortal. Because not everybody agreed with that decision, and usually with Maxwell it's like, you know, like an all-in. No, well, I'm gonna say like our process of how we do things is not like top down heavy, but more so of like a team agreement in a sense. So when that was done, there were definitely several on the team that didn't agree, which led to some stuff. But I don't think we will ever like end up covering it ever again past this point. I got cooldown on all 4 of these for whatever strange reason. That's the first sync. I was big in the WoW at the time and had good contact with ICV's writer, and they were told no more DI. I mean, Blizzard also, not Blizzard, Mastro, like we're not really big into the whole pay to win aspects of stuff when it comes to covering games and things. So that kind of led into one of the major reasons why we stopped covering it initially. But then I guess you have some people who are asking, it's like, well, if that's the case, why do we cover a Lost Ark, right? Because definitely pay to win mechanics in that, right? But yeah. Originally I was supposed to be part of that team to begin with. But we kind of lost contact, and then I came into the team for Diablo 4. Too fat to carry. What's going on? Like I said, wasn't the latest COD a huge flop? That I don't know. I think this was like, I think this time around, this was Battlefield 6's dub. From at least from what I heard. I don't play either game, so I don't know. What's my highest pit level push you push the season? I have not pushed at all. The highest I've done was T100, and 3 minutes roughly was the fastest I've did it. But no pushing. Also, don't really have like. I'm missing like half the amount of sinks right now, so even if I wanted to, like, I wouldn't be able to get as far as I would like. So no point in spending my limited time doing that when I can be still gearing up a bit for the tower, roughly. Hopefully, I'll get something decent by tower. Like, who knows? I was trying not to use resources, but I can't max out this fine. Oof. That. Poison, lightning, and fire does so much damage this season. More so fire, dude. Fire is like all those explosions. Lightning has always dealt a lot of damage. Like, that's been kind of normal, and it's been overtuned for so long. All right, guys, here we go. We gonna go ahead and full send it. How many of these are we gonna fail tonight? Here we go. Oh, new legendary power added. Well, legendary power. Does this say mythic power if you get mythic? By chance? Yeah. Using the cooldown restores. Well, it gets says legendary. It's in purple though. Purple tether. Okay, so all right. New affix added. Dexterity. Legendary power added, so it's not purple. So boo. Guess what could it be? Okay, manglers. Affix replaced. Wait, what did it replace? Okay, ultimate cooldown reduction. Affix replace again. Replace agile with armor. Affix added. Shadow damage. Greater to greater affix. Greater to greater affix. I'm gonna just stop looking at them. Affix added though. Distance. Quality increase. A greater greater affix. New affix added. New affix added. Affix replaced. Poison. New affix added. Movement speed. Oh man, okay. Still not more movement speed than what I already have. No, actually it's 1% less movement speed than I already got. Yeah. 1% less movement speed than I already got. Literally, no, sorry, 0.1%, not 1%. 0.1% less movement speed than I already got. Oh, it won't be purple in the 65 window. Okay, it'll be on the gear. Okay. All right. 0.1% less movement speed on this. Kind of hilarious. Oh, new legendary power added. What we get? Ugh. Huh? Making sure I'm not misreading that. All right, shadow damage. This last beast fall boost and fail. Gonna go to the shroud. What we got? It's added. I mean, technically it's better than what I already got. Technically, 10.5% armor might be useful. The 80 all stats. Still trash though. No quality increase. 7. Boo. Oh, new legendary power added. What's going on? Appreciate the sub. Appreciate you though, Krog. You have a good one. Oh wait. Wait, what did this give me? No. You have 8% chance to dodge. Quality increase. Oh, this one had 25 quality. If that would have rolled on like this one, I would have felt a lot better about that one. Okay, so failed so far. New affix add. Gem strength. That doesn't work with runes, does it? I guess it would help for dex, technically. Like 100% more. 20 dex. Flame. It's added. Physical damage. 118% jump. Not good enough. Guys, we have failed. Alright, so only half of my disappointment. Good thing I didn't do everything. But let's 4-6 minutes. Weeks. We have to go ahead and try to craft ones I might want though. Do one shroud. For air perdition.
Yes, I have wares. Beautiful and handy.
All 4 of them are helms. Seriously? Oh no, one's a silly. But still.
A forge more than horseshoes and nails. What do you need? Manage to save something to forge.
I can't find anything. This is so tilting. What are you doing for that or for that farm? I guess what is the best route to farm that?
Keep my forge hot. How are your hands clean? Look,
Other than like treasure breach?
blessing on that one.
Bosses? Bosses give that? I know like Bilal does, but like do we need the other?
See some steel you need?
Sometimes they drop in chests. So this is the last round of small round of sinks, I guess. All right, here we go. Saint. It's added. Put a resist. Affix added. New affix added. Lucky hit chat. Item course. Well. So.
To good use. The hammer sings on your return.
Let's force 2 more. Okay. Out and here. Okay. 2 I could possibly. We might get lucky.
I hope you appreciate that. Fair travels.
Yeah, let's go. Have I tried the PoE 2 new season? I haven't had time to. There's been so much to try to get done in Diablo 4 in terms of the new stuff that's happening that I haven't had time to even jump to PoE 2. I will before it ends though, like sometime sometime in January. Some my whatchamacallit phone too. I really want that stuff. There we go. But if it at least rose quality or something like that, I can actually get like somewhat of an upgrade of some sort. Alright, let's see what happens. Go, what we got? Great to greater FX. Ooh. FX added. Oh, Dex. I mean, it's not what I want, but this is a slight upgrade. It's something, I guess. I lose 400 life though. 80 all stats, but I gain a little bit of damage after stealth. 194 dex is it's worth. So defies the skin. Be honest. I mean, you can look at it that way. All right, we didn't get anything cool, but we did get a slight upgrade. Teeny upgrade. There's still some. Upgrade as in like no cools, no good things, no aspects. Straight up decks. Anyone here know about the infinite farm of the secret room? Nope. I heard the economy on PoE 2 is trashed. It's trashed due to a temple exploit. When I do go play though, like I normally play solo self-found, so none of that really affects me. But that totally sucks for everyone else. All right. Well, I am halfway disappointed. Obviously, I will extend my disappointment the next time I stream, which will probably be on Tuesday. Trying to do every other day streaming. So we will get back on the disappointment train with the cons here. We still gotta do some better swords because these are really outdated. Same thing with the ring. The ring is not as outdated as swords. But we definitely need to. We'll just continue. We will continue. We will continue to fail together until I guess Tower comes out. I have a pretty decent amount of Neatheron to like really try to get something going on with some decent swords or whatever. Kind of feel okay with that. So I definitely need some more scroll of restorations though, for sure. Maybe some legendaries, good things. That's Infernal Hordes though, which I actually don't mind doing. Alright, Ring of Starless Skies or Shroud of False Death for Heartseeker. I would say Starless Skies. Cause that's gonna make the build feel a lot better to play. Because then you can use Chronolucian. You can't really use Chronolucian until you get a Starless Skies, so I would say Starless Skies. Good, almost much cheaper than buy. Apparently, you could farm secret boss room infinitely. You get huge reward infinitely. Just checking if anyone else is fixed. I have no idea what it is, but generally speaking, I don't promote those kind of exploits on my stream. But like, even if I knew, I specifically wouldn't talk about it. But yeah, I personally don't know anything about it. And I don't know if it's fixed or not. I don't even know what it is. Child clones can't generate stun grenades in any way, right? Nope. They cannot. If they did, I think stun grenades would actually be like considered like more valuable because, you know, Shadow Clone does all the damage on all our builds anyways. That isn't where the ultimate base. So Sada, what's going on? Some things seem pretty sketchy. Man, I think you have a right to feel that way. Anything coming from China. I mean, they already can't get banned for doing anything over there in this game. So, if anything looks or seems remotely sketchy, it probably is. It's in some way, shape, or form. There's one more thing I was gonna do. But yeah, I'm gonna get this whisper real quick, and then that'll be it. Let's hit below zero. Man, I need to take a break. I received to find more than 2,500 items. Only one mythic aspect. Bringer. I hate Doombringer is what you got. I don't think I've heard anyone get a Doombringer tanked. That's rough, man. I mean, I feel you. I don't have any mythic ones either. Mines have been rather questionable. Then again, like I'm sure I have not done 2,500 items though. Like I might be like a third of that maybe total. But yeah, I can understand. I also make sure that I don't sync to everything, so I don't get disappointed all at once. I leave myself some cope room, basically, some copium room. Whereas like, okay, well, this batch was bad, but the other batch I haven't synced, could be good tomorrow or the next day. Give me that little like way to make myself feel good about the bad syncs I just went through. I appreciate the follow. What class are you playing, Sato? 10 build for full inventory. Oh, then gotcha. I didn't do your stream, but I follow you guys before. What's up, man? Oh, welcome. I'm actually about to go. Did I beat Gog Mazius? What is that? Weapon damage only 715 because that's the weapon damage of your actual weapon. I haven't played in a while. I haven't played any of the new updates in like in months. I haven't been able to bring myself to like log on and like play. I want to, but I don't know. We'll do one pit run. So much more to do now, really. Is it like a recent update? What's the point of showing at 715? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the old system was just as bad, if not worse, because at least the old system was misleading. This just doesn't tell you anything at all. Not saying it's better by any means, but they can do something different than what they're doing now. But the old system was also not great either. Hope I got enough armor spheres. I'm sure I have a lot saved up. I didn't really craft much past the first couple of updates. Title update 2, maybe? Or was it title update 1? I think it was when I kind of like stopped. Are you definitely gonna craft once you see the weapons and gear? Okay. Okay. You got me a little excited. Hi, Doctor. On QQ on your Heartseeker build, why do you use crown instead of air? Higher multiplier? Yes. Well, multiple reasons. For one, higher multiplier. Two, you spend more energy. And so spending more energy means you reset your cooldown. You reset the cooldown on your clone faster. Resetting your cooldown on your clone faster resets all your skill cooldowns faster, meaning you can do more things for the open end content. Not only that, but every time you reset your clone, for whatever strange reason, there's a bug that you do about 10x more damage. The one attack that you deal right after you cast your clone. So you want to reset your clone almost as fast and as often as possible without losing all your resources. So Crown is infinitely better than Air Perdition for regular Heartseeker in general. Now, if you're just doing like regular in-game farming, like speed farming, you're not going to notice a difference really. But like if you're like trying to go like slightly higher pits or pits that take like, you know, more than 5 minutes or whatever, then you'll start really noticing the difference there. Arch temper, okay. Bow over crossbow and Heartseeker guide is personal preference. Yeah, basically. People like the way that people like attacking faster. Technically speaking, the crossbow is like slightly more damage. Like you're talking about like 4 or 5% more damage if you want to like perfectly min-max the idea of it. Crossbow is like 5% more damage, but you'll never know or feel that 5%. But people like the way that the bow looks because the bow transmogs are better unless you buy the rogue transmogs in the shop, in which the crossbow transmogs are actually pretty sick in the shop. But in general speaking, like bow transmogs are usually way cooler and it feels better to attack faster. So people actually like people just like attacking faster with the bow. But typically speaking, when I play Heartseeker, I actually choose the crossbow. So, but that's a personal preference. Does Lily only give a spark at T4 now? No, she should be able to do that T1. Should be able to. Unique bow aspects are OP. Yeah, man, you're welcome. All right, well, that was cool. I'm gonna hold it at that, but that is enough for me for the evening. I could only handle but so much disappointment per stream. Like I said, I'm spreading out my disappointments across multiple streams. So, that is that. Thanks, Ashen. We're gonna go to Kokosor actually. You read me last time. We'll show some love. You too, Sada. You too, man. Once you fix your PC, you get back to streaming as well. Yeah, man. So definitely won't see me. So I don't know how many people I've told this, but like I'm trying to do like an every other day stream, so I don't. Because again, I'm working a bit more now than I usually do, so I'm trying to not burn myself out, I guess you could say, in terms of getting or doing too much per day, too many hours in a day. So I'm gonna take a break every other day, so I can kind of like be refreshed for the following stream, sort of kind of thing. So that's kind of gonna be what's happening moving forward. So you will not see me tomorrow, but you will see me on Tuesday. Enjoy Kokosor, and as always, till next time.